And a good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Wells Fargo Arena, located in the capital city, Des Moines, Iowa, here in the great state of Iowa. John McDermott alongside Tony Etseni as we get set to bring you NBA G League basketball. The Iowa Wolves 1-2 coming into this one after the tip-off tournament has concluded. Now into the regular season portion of the schedule. And Iowa 1-2 hosting Santa Cruz. The Warriors 3-0 so far. Both teams started off the first 3 games on the road, Tony. Santa Cruz 3 games on the road, 3 wins. Iowa 3 games on the road, just 1 win, but back here at home at the Wells Fargo Arena.
Yeah, and a little different look too for the Iowa Wolves from pre-Christmas to the tournament to now. Some guys with Minnesota Timberwolves injuries and sickness have been now moved up, and so we won't see some faces tonight we've been seeing throughout the early part of the season.
Quick starters: Post, Johnson, Knox the second, Rao, Collins for the Warriors, Keels, Ellis, Edwards, Eastern, and Clark for Iowa. And it's the Warriors' first possession here off the tip. And a 3-ball from the corner knocked down by Jackson Rao.
Well, I tell you, I was watching warm-ups, and I know when you're open it makes you look good, but Warriors are pretty darn good out there beyond the arc. You don't put a hand in their face, they're going to hit a lot of those tonight.
There's Keels off the ball screen. Off the window, no good. Edwards kept it alive, but tapped out of bounds. It's going to go back to the Warriors. So Warriors connect on their first possession. They lead it 3-0. Just underway here at the Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines. Here's a 3 top of the key. That's off the side rim. No good by Yuri Collins. Pretty good crowd assembled here on a Saturday night in Des Moines.
These 2 teams will have a break tomorrow and Monday, and then back at it here on Tuesday night, same bat channel and time.
No gel Eastern top of the key. Kind of probing the baseline. There's Edwards. Quick little push shot from the middle of the lane. Just couldn't get it to fall. Iowa would definitely take that look, but Edwards just not able to convert. Ellis's minutes certainly increasing with the release of Dacian Nix that we can get to here in a minute, but another 3 knocked down.
Quentin Post had a pretty good shoulder put into Jalen Clark there. He went to the floor, and that left that open look. Could hear the crowd reaction a little bit after that happened.
Right wing, Ellis on cue knocks down a 3-ball. His offensive production has been up significantly as of late. Here's Post with the handoff. Johnson through the lane, lays it up with the left hand.
That's basket interference.
Well, and I thought the Warrior player hit the rim first.
That's what I thought. Okay, they called it on both.
Players touched the rim there, but if you see the replay here, let's see if Post or no. Yeah, we stand corrected. It was just Edwards that hit the cylinder as the ball was about to go down. Lob up top there, and that's a foul from behind. That's going to be whistled on Kevin Knox the second.
I don't think it's any intentional to hurt anybody there, but when you're up in the air like that and you get hit, things don't look good coming down. Edwards back up and got his bearings back there.
Good pass there by Trevor Keels. So that'll put Jesse Edwards at the line to shoot his first free throw of the evening. Iowa's first free throw. First team foul on either team there. So Jesse Edwards, the 2-way contract player with Minnesota, at the line and rattles one in. That's a 2-point free throw. Warriors lead 8-5 early on. Post, he'll shoot that. Top of the key, 3 is good by the 7-footer. Quentin Post.
Got to identify that 3 spot. You can't just get him that easy open looks.
Ellis into the paint, kind of picks up the dribble in a tough spot, finds Clark. Clark will shoot the 3 straight away, and it's good.
Close out a little bit late there by Javen Johnson, and Clark able to shoot over the top there.
Collins along the baseline, back pass. Post will try another one. This one off the back of the iron, long rebound to Ellis. Keels on a back pass for Clark, right into another 3-ball. Jalen Clark's heating up early.
As soon as that left his hand, it looked pure because it was right in front of us, and he did nail it back to back.
Oh, Jalen Clark Does a little slide at midcourt, and a 3-ball knocked down again by Kevin Knox the second.
Yeah, Clark went for the steal, and Knox left wide open for that 3.
There's Keels tied up on his way up, and say he stepped on the baseline trying to save the basketball.
Yeah, Keels got himself a little deep that time with the wrong guy. Nowhere to go and nowhere to get that ball out of there at. Good defense by Santa Cruz on that one.
And they'll work through post just outside the lane near the left elbow. Yuri Collins back around the post. Oh, beautiful positioning and great pass there by Yuri Collins.
Yeah, Edwards kind of left his man to try to help stop that drive, but that gave the easy look for that.
Keels into the paint. No gel. Eastern will try a 3 from the corner. No good. Post with the defensive rebound.
Got a pretty good pace of this one early, John.
Yeah, and the Warriors have really played well offensively here so far. Here's Collins. Good no-look pass to the right wing. 3-ball off the mark, and Edwards taps it over to Eastern. Top of the key for Ellis. Ellis, floater in the lane, is up and good.
Now both teams kind of pushing the envelope offensively. A couple touches and the shots going off.
Both teams in a pretty good rhythm
Yes.
offensively. Neither team.
Oh, there's a walk.
Travel, bad travel.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
Sometimes you get away with that little half step, but that was like 2.5.
Well, as they say, God made it right. Sometimes there's a loose ball and Iowa gets it back.
Edwards attacking. Edwards up with the shot. No good, but that's a foul going to be whistled on number 21, Quentin Post.
He's arguing, but his arms were not straight up here. He'll lean it over there, so that's going to get you a call every time.
Clear foul.
Yeah. You can go ahead and bring him back up like you were, but that was a definite reach over there.
So Post heads to the bench for the Warriors. Seth Maxwell, another 7-footer. This Maxwell from Indiana Wesleyan. That's going to be would have been a lane violation, I believe, on Maxwell, but Edwards knocks down the 2-point free throw. Good job by Iowa to close out on the shooter after the made free throw. And another nice looking shot. Kevin Knox, the second, has come to play here today.
You don't see very many of those right or left elbow shots anymore. That was pure by Knox. He has 5 now to lead the players on the floor for Santa Cruz.
Edwards into the paint, off the window and in. Edwards being very assertive, probably as assertive as I've seen him so far this year in an opening quarter. Good ball movement. Iowa defending well on this possession. Good pass inside, dumps it down for Maxwell.
Oh, good backside help by Eastern.
No gel, came from behind to swat it away. And I think we're going to have our first media timeout. We are. 6:32 to go here in the first. 18-17. The Iowa Wolves lead the Warriors. We'll have more Wolves basketball right after this break. Yeah, back here live at the Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines. John McDermott alongside Tony Etseni. Well, 5:28 played in this first quarter, Tony. Pretty good offense out of both teams. Both teams above 62% shooting from the field.
Yeah, both teams, you said 63.5% for Santa Cruz, 62.5% for Iowa. Iowa has 3 players that have scored out of the starters. Only the starters have played so far. Jalen Clark with a half dozen along with Jesse Edwards, and it was Ellis with 5 points. On the other end, Santa Cruz with 4 players in the scoring column. Kevin Knox the second, Quentin Post and Javen Johnson, all with 5 points apiece, and Jackson Rowe has 3 points.
Yeah, impressive start for both teams on the offensive end. We'll see if that continues. I would imagine you'll see the defense kind of settle in here.
How about this? Santa Cruz has made 7 of their 11, John. All 7 were assisted shots. Iowa's made 5 of 8. 4 of those 5 were assists. So definitely the ball getting into the right hands offensively, and then the shots being made.
Gonna have a foul away from the ball whistled on Maxwell. So it'll be Iowa Wolves basketball. Yeah, foul was whistled on Maxwell.
Okay.
Backup center for the Warriors. Here's Jalen Clark, and we're going to have an offensive foul, I believe, on Edwards.
So, kind of what happened to one end of the court just happened at the other end, and neither one got away with it.
I need to see that again. That looked like a complete embellishment. But maybe take a look at the replay at some point. Maxwell on a little handoff 3, ball up and in quickly.
That was a confident shot from about 25.
That was Blake Hinson knocking that down. Here's Ellis. Floater is up and good.
Well, Ellis is feeling it right now, and that little running floater, hard to stop that, especially if he's got the touch like that, nothing but the net.
Warriors get it into the paint. Tough shot contested, no good. Run down by Trevor Keels. Keels off for Clark. That's off the side of the rim, no good. Good try by Eastern on the offensive glass, just couldn't control it. Oh, nice job by Ellis to get into the passing lane. It's 3-on-1 the other way. Oh, Keels, that's going to be a foul and an and-one opportunity. Kevin Knox will pick up the personal.
Ellis got that steal, John, but Eastern got a piece of that ball to kind of slow that passing lane down, and then Ellis just stepped in, and then nice fast break by Trevor Keels to finish.
Well, No Gel missed a large portion of the tip-off tournament part of the schedule, but he's come back and really starting to find his groove here for Iowa.
Yeah, I mean, of course, he was playing really well last year, and then the last half of the year down with that injury into the early part of this season, and he just kept working. Since he's got back in the lineup, the numbers have proved how hard he's worked.
Well, he's a unique player, usually playing a little undersized, and another takeaway by Iowa. Jalen Clark gives off for Ledee.
Oh. This is our house, Ledee says.
And a timeout on the floor as Jaden Ledee makes his presence felt off the Iowa bench. And just like that, Iowa with a quick little run after a couple of turnovers. Ledee punching it. And Iowa leads at 24-21, 5:12 to go. More Wolves basketball after the break. Now back here, 5:12 to go, quarter number 1. The Iowa Wolves hosting the Santa Cruz Warriors. And both shooting percentages remain over 60%, Tony. Some pretty good offense out of both of these teams.
Yeah, Santa Cruz 8 of 13, 61.5% from the field, 5 of 8, 62.5% from 3, while Iowa 67%, 8 of 12 from the field, and 3 of 5, 60% from 3. Iowa has L. Ellis leading the way with 7, Jesse Edwards and Jalen Clark with 6 on the other end. 3 players with 5 points apiece: Kevin Knox II, Quentin Post, and Javen Johnson.
Well, just a couple of recent turnovers by the Warriors and some runouts for Iowa have put Iowa in the lead. We've only had one lead change. That came about 30 seconds ago.
Yep. Ledee coming off the bench, and he put a little punctuation point on that time as a timeout had to be called by Santa Cruz.
And that's going to be a travel whistled on Quentin Post. Caught it top of the key and then moved both feet. Yeah, that's one of those, sometimes they call it, sometimes they don't.
I've seen a few that weren't called so far on both sides tonight with that little extra step and giddy up going on, but they've started to call a few of them now.
Iowa with Will Baker in the ball game, receives it on the post. Baker fades, left hand shot is up and good.
You know, we haven't seen him much, but I was watching him in warm-ups too, as I like to watch these players, and he's got a really nice shot. You don't want to leave him open from 3. He's pretty good out there.
Speaking of nice shots, there's a 3 ball up, no good. Rebound though into the hands of the Warriors. Another second chance point, no, off the mark.
Good
Finally, Keels comes away with it.
Nice.
And in for Ledee. Ledee reverse layup is good.
Nice breakout that time, and Keels with a nice lead pass to make it easy for Ledee.
Good defense by L. Ellis in the backcourt, and there's going to be a foul called.
Oh.
I think they're going to get Will Baker on the reach there.
Yeah, I couldn't see from, you know, the body was in front, so you couldn't really see if there was a foul or if that ball was slapped off the body there, but yeah, no doubt. Ledee got his arm in there. I mean, not Ledee. Baker.
Yep.
Now Walter Ellis checks into the game for the Iowa Wolves. Jalen Clark will get a break here.
Good start for Jalen Clark. Knocks down 2 of his 3 3-point attempts.
Another guy who's was banged up all of last year and then trying to get back, and he's still not that 100% Jalen Clark, but he's getting slowly there.
Cameron Parker into the scoring column with a made free throw. That'll give him 2 points. Trevor Keels will back the dribble out top of the key. Ellis. Nice pass inside, but off the mark was Will Baker. Parker into the front court for Santa Cruz. Henson steps through the defender. Sure looked like a travel. Shot off the mark nonetheless. Ellis finds Baker. Baker, lefty 3, up and good.
Told you. If you leave him open, he's going to hit. He was working from there. In fact, a lot of the shots I was watching, that's his spot on the floor.
Parker again weaving through traffic. Finds an open shooter in the corner. Left corner 3, no good. There's Post on the offensive glass.
Santa Cruz using that size advantage on the boards. Iowa's having to work extra hard just to get a chance of touching that ball off the rim on the missed shots.
Post gives it for Walter Ellis. Up top for L. Ellis. Turns the corner. L. Ellis off the window and in. Tough scoop shot. Just kind of a little delay there off the ball screen.
L. Ellis now with 9 points to lead Iowa in all scores in the game.
Both teams really looking to push.
Yeah.
Even off of made baskets. Here's Parker. Parker driving with that left hand. Keels defends. Shot no good.
Oh,
super late whistle.
And I don't like that call. The official from across the other side of the court called that one. I don't know, man.
I mean, there was a little contact, I guess.
First foul on Keels.
And it came more to the body as he was gathering, I think. Maybe not so much when he went up or was in the air to release.
Parker going to the line to shoot 1 for 2 points, and he makes it.
So 4 points at the line here in the last minute for Parker. Iowa's lead is 6 here, 33-27. Ellis has it top of the key. Ellis into the paint again off the window, no good this time.
Kind of left that short off the window. I think he was trying to, he was like indecisive. Do I use the glass or do I try to float it over the rim? And oh man.
Johnson with a nice finish. Ernest Scott wanted to travel.
Well, I don't blame him.
It looked unorthodox. I don't know if it was a travel, but here's Baker into the paint. Baker off the glass with the left hand.
Baker has 7 now for Iowa.
And stepping on the sideline right before the made shot was the Warriors wing player Marcus Burke.
Yuri Collins checking back in along with Jackson Rowe for Santa Cruz here after that dead ball. Parker, one of the guys that left the floor.
Well, the Iowa lead here is 6 with the basketball. Minute 30 to go first quarter. Trevor Keels looks to attack that elbow. Inside it goes again.
Oh, that's going to be an offensive foul. Yeah, Baker kind of swung that arm right into the face of the defender that time. I mean, he brought it around. At his size, it's kind of hard to not do that the way he was trying to get position. Whoa. But we'll watch this a little bit at this, like, see, he swung his elbow right into the face of the defender. They're going to check it out.
They're going to take a peek at it.
Yep. So they're going to check to see if it's flagrant now, which would put him out, right?
No, well, okay. No, it can be a flagrant 1 or a flagrant 2. I don't think there's going to be anything other than a common foul here, but like you said, I think he was just trying to clear the ball to the other side. And
but that elbow gets out there extended. That's what's usually going to get that call. Post was up into him.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, there wasn't a lot of space to operate.
Again, both teams back at it here on Tuesday night at 6:30 tip at the Wells Fargo Arena, Santa Cruz and Iowa. Iowa will then hit the road for a few games against Salt Lake City and Rio Grande Valley on the 9th and the 11th. You can catch Iowa for the rest of January almost. 13th, 15th, 23rd, and 24th upcoming schedule at home. For Santa Cruz, after the Iowa Wolves on Tuesday, they will be at the Suns franchise on the 12th and the 13th. And before coming home to take on Mexico City, next home game for Santa Cruz on the 17th.
Boy, Santa Cruz's schedule, you look at it, they have 10 straight home games in the middle of that schedule, but they start with 7 on the road coming out of the showcase. Just kind of a, 7 on the road, then 10 at home, and then.
Well, here's Iowa in end of January into February. It's like they're going to be the same way. A lot of the state tournaments here in the early part of March. Iowa's always gone at that time of year for 2 weeks for the state girls and boys basketball tournament here at the Wells Fargo Arena. So,
well, then you have the wrestling tournament prior to that.
Yeah.
So it's usually they might be able to squeeze one in, but basically the arena is taken for 3 weeks.
By the way, the officials tonight, Nate Curley is the chief. The referee is J.P. Prim, and the umpire William McClatch, as they're looking at that to see if that was a flagrant 1 or 2 or a flagrant at all. I don't think it was flagrant. It's just wrong place at wrong time, and just a little catch off the nose there from the Baker elbow, but common foul. So I think that's the right call. It wasn't intentional. Yeah, good call by the officials looking at that. It wasn't like intentional or anything. It just, the face happened to be in the way when the elbow was there. And unfortunately for Baker, he gets a foul for that one.
Well, the explanation by crew chief Nate Kearley was the elbow and the forearm were vertical, not horizontal, where you're throwing that elbow. It just kind of caught the face of post on the way up. So a common foul called, and we play on. Top of the key, Yuri Collins driving it. Easy layup for Yuri Collins. Eastern got pinned behind the defender and couldn't provide help.
Collins with his first bucket of the ball game. Both teams have enjoyed leads. The Warriors at 6 at one point, and the Wolves at 8 here at one point. Leading by 4 right now.
3 ball from the left wing, off the mark there by Ellis. Javon Johnson, right? Javen or Javon?
Javen.
Javen Johnson. Now it's Collins. into post. Collins puts it on the floor, lost the handle, and then a nice recovery there and a put in by Johnson. Just kind of a little reverse layup after he was able to gather along the baseline.
Johnson with 9 now for the Warriors. And they're back to within 2 after being down 8. Both teams will have one more possession. This is Iowa's possession before Warriors might have 5 or 6 seconds when Iowa shot goes off here.
Keels, 3 from the right wing, up and good. Trevor Keels knocks one down. Now Collins, 4 seconds to operate. Post, backs down, and I don't think he got it off in time.
Nope, he did not.
And the shot, well, I don't think it would have counted, but didn't go in anyway. But that'll be the end of the first quarter. High scoring affair for both teams. And after 1 quarter of play here at Wells Fargo Arena, 38-33, the Iowa Wolves lead the Santa Cruz Warriors. More Wolves basketball after the break. Now back here live at the Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, 38-33. The Iowa Wolves leading the Santa Cruz Warriors. About to start the second quarter. And again, offensively, both teams pretty solid there, minus a couple of turnovers each. Yep. The Warriors turned the ball over 6 times to Iowa's 3, and really that was about the only difference you see on the stat sheet.
Well, there it is. Fast break points because of turnovers. Iowa 10-0. Yep. They lead by 5, 38-33.
Iowa basketball to start the second quarter. Eastern into the time, across the timeline for Iowa. Now Edwards puts it on the floor. Edwards, nice little reverse pivot off the window and in.
Yeah, nice strong move that time by Edwards against Maxwell.
2 7-footers going at it underneath. Here's Collins. Collins has been a handful, and this time throws it away. He's been able to get into the paint with ease, but that time Walter Ellis defended well and forces the turnover.
First quarter leaders, Javen Johnson with 9 and 7 for Quentin Post to lead the way for Santa Cruz. For Iowa, they had L. Ellis with 9 and 6 apiece for Jalen Clark, Jesse Edwards, and Trevor Keels.
Edwards goes right back to work. Two-hand stuff for Jesse Edwards.
Yeah, I think Iowa finds a mismatch here a little bit. Edwards really just ready to go right through Maxwell right time.
Well, no hesitation on the reverse pivot. Just went right up and flushes it through.
And Sam's in at 3-0 in this season portion of the G League. Iowa starts off at 1-2. Both teams, all their games been on the road.
What a pretty looking 3 there by Kevin Knox, the second. And that gives him 8 points in the contest. Keels looks baseline. Keels, got in close. Kind of a weird angle along the baseline. Didn't get the finger roll to go. Collins. Oh, what a pass there. But Maxwell just lost his footing. I think his foot slipped out from underneath him, forcing the turnover. Walter Ellis, 3-ball, rattles in and out.
It was there.
Rebound for Jackson Rowe. Now it's Knox out near the timeline, defended by Jalen Clark. Knox gets Clark on his left shoulder, stops, pops.
You don't want
good.
Clark defending you if you get through the screen. He is just latched on that time.
No Joe Eastern. Looks to drive it, lays it up, wild shot and a foul called. No Joe kind of bailed out there a little bit. And Blake Hinson cannot believe the call.
Who'd they call it on?
26, Blake Hinson, I believe. Well, you see just a little bump on the elbow.
Yeah.
It was super subtle, but it definitely affected the shot. I could see why Hinson didn't love the call, but it's one of those where there wasn't much there, but you almost had to call it.
So Iowa hit all 3 of their free throws in the first quarter. Santa Cruz hit both of theirs, so nobody's missed from the free throw line so far in this game. Of course, in the G League, you get the value of your free throws in the last 2 minutes. Other than that, you shoot 1 for 2 or 1 for 3 until the last 2 minutes of a ball game.
Iowa switches it defensively,
Nice.
and then a pretty little basket cut.
Yeah.
Little give and go. Jackson Rao on the other end of that one for the stuff.
Clark got flat-footed on that defensively. You don't see that very often, and Rowe just beat him to the bucket.
No Joe Eastern. Jalen Clark drives it. Clark lays it up and in.
Clark now with 8 for Iowa, back up to the 8-point lead. Nobody's had bigger than an 8-point lead. Iowa a few times.
Knox will try another 3. This one off the mark, and Edwards goes high above the rim to take the rebound. Eastern finds Walter Ellis. 3 on the way. Back iron no good. Rebound Knox. Knox will lead it back the other way. Knox gets into the paint, kicks out. Hinson's 3, good.
Open look, guess what? Count it. 6 for Hinson now.
It's good transition there by the Warriors. 46-41.
Oh boy, you're going to call it on Edwards.
Screen by Edwards.
I don't know if he really did much, but the size disadvantage made that look worse than it was, as he was trying to cut.
Edwards wants a review. He doesn't want to pick up another foul.
Yeah.
Can't say I blame him, but I don't know that we're using a review on that one. Here's the replay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I saw them two get tangled up, and it looked like mutual agreement there. I mean, it wasn't. It just
like a mutual disagreement.
Yeah.
Here's Knox.
And now Edwards is going to get another one. That's a cheapie there.
3.
Yeah, that's a bad one there. Before they can get him out of here.
That's going to bring Will Baker off the bench for Iowa.
Yeah, you just got to play smarter than that, knowing what just happened. So, a couple of cheap fouls, but here in the last one, you can see that one coming. But Baker putting in some good minutes here. Hadn't seen much of him prior to tonight. So he was working his way into the system.
Knox at the line, knocks down the free throw. That gives him double digits. 10 here in the first half. Still 8:45 to go. Knox on his way to a big offensive night. Former Kentucky Wildcat. Keels. Ellis, they swing it around. Clark now, left wing, 3 is good.
Clark shot looking good tonight. That's 3 threes for Jalen. He has 11 in the ball game.
He's catching in rhythm and shooting with confidence. 2 very important, probably the 2 most important things. Drive, dish now. No Joe Eastern. Defends well. Hinson, he's had the hot hand from over there.
Oh boy.
Buries another 3 from the right wing.
And he has 3 threes for 9 points for the Warriors. Back and forth we go here.
Ellis turns the corner baseline.
Nice bump.
And almost forces the official to call the foul as he lost his balance, falling out of bounds along the baseline. Maxwell to the bench. Post back on for the Warriors, along with number 29, Dante Scott. First time we've seen Scott off the bench. I believe the first time. Did we see Scott in the first quarter?
I don't recall him being out there yet. I guess he was for about 3.5 minutes.
Wasn't super memorable. No offense, Dante.
No, none at all to all of his friends and family out there.
Here's Knox, long stride through the lane, lays it in with the right hand. He's got 12. Knox is a one-man wrecking crew here right now for the Warriors. Here's Clark, another three, right wing good. He's got 4 threes, that is.
Yeah, 14 points total, lead all scorers in this one. Knox leading the way for the Warriors at 12.
Knox is feeling it.
And now
you knew that was going in.
It's a little three-point shooting contest. Clark and Knox right now, and Knox has 15 now in the ball game.
You got the lead? Now how about I take the lead back? There's a lob up for Baker. He couldn't handle it. May have been deflected. Here's Yuri Collins trying to back down Ellis. Now Henson will try another one.
Wow.
What do you know? Another three ball from that right wing.
We're starting all over, John.
Yes, we are. 6:58 to go here in the first half. 54-54. The Wolves and the Warriors tied. More Wolves basketball after the break. Now back here at the Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, a little Saturday night G League action. 6:58 to go in the first half. Tied at 54. We've only had one lead change, been tied 3 times, but a nice little run here by Santa Cruz. Iowa led by as many as 9. The Warriors' biggest lead was 6, but the last couple minutes, it's been a 3-point barrage here by Santa Cruz.
Yeah, and in particular, that 3-point shooting mark for Santa Cruz. They've taken 16, they've made 10, 19 of 30 overall, 63% from the field. Iowa's taken 12 threes, made 7, and they are 20 of 30, 67% from the field. Jalen Clark leading the way. He's 4 out of 5 from 3, has 14. Ellis with 11 for Iowa. Jesse Edwards at 10. But the important fact, Jesse Edwards now on the bench probably for the rest of this half for sure, with 3 personal fouls on the other end. Blake Hidson off the bench, 4 out of 6 from 3, he has a dozen. 15 for Kevin Knox. He's also 3 of 4 from 3 to lead the Santa Cruz Warriors in double figures. Again, Santa Cruz coming in at 3-0 here in this regular season portion of the NBA G League, and Iowa 1-2 into tonight's action. And both teams will be back at it here Tuesday night at the Wells Fargo Arena.
Skip pass to the corner. Nogel Eastern puts it on the floor, pulls up, shot is up and good. Boy, that was at the shot clock buzzer too, yeah. But Eastern with the bucket. Iowa back in front. Knox looking for space. Well defended by Clark. Another long one by Henson. Just a little heat check there.
Heat check.
Off the front of the rim.
He was about 28, 30 feet out when he took that one.
Knox will try a 3-ball. Front rim, no good.
Yeah, Baker
long rebound to Parker. Now Post will turn and face 20 feet from the basket. Post going to back Baker down. And Baker's going to get a cheapie.
Yeah, just not a good thing there, using your hands like that. I should have just kept himself straight up and forced.
He tried to let
Baker. Post to work on that, and Baker stuck his hands in there and got called for the foul.
So Martez Brown will make an appearance here for Iowa. Brown's had some really good moments through the first part of this season coming off the bench for Iowa, especially here at home.
Yeah. Well, he's going to have to play hard now, him and Ledee and Eastern, because of 2 bigs. Baker has 3 fouls as well as Jesse Edwards for Iowa, so you won't see them the rest of this half.
So Post now, his point total up to 9 after the made free throw. There's Ellis.
Boy.
Ellis weaving in and through the lane and then floats up an air ball from about 6 feet away. Here's Parker. Parker looks to turn the corner. Into the paint, kicks it out. 3 on the way, off the mark, no good. Jalen Clark with the rebound. Clark off the glass, can't get it to fall. Might have forced that one just a bit, almost got it to go though. And a nice basket cut and a finish. That time it was Dante Scott coming from that corner along the baseline.
5th lead change in this game, 3 of them in the last couple of minutes.
Bounce pass into the corner for Ledee. He loses the handle. And what are we going to have?
Well, Coach Scott called the timeout.
Yeah, just before the tie-up, a timeout called.
Or not.
So that'll be the second immediate timeout of the second quarter. We'll take it. 58-56. The Warriors back in front over the Wolves. More Wolves basketball after this break. All right, back here live. 5 minutes to go here in quarter number 2. The Iowa Wolves hosting the Santa Cruz Warriors. 58-56. The Warriors back on top. We've had our second lead change here in the first half, but it's been close the entire way. Iowa did get out to that 9-point lead, but that was quickly erased by the Warriors' 3-point shooting. And the leading scorers so far in this contest: 15 for Kevin Knox the second, to go along with 12 for Blake Hinson off the bench, all from 3-point land. And then for Iowa, 14 points for Jalen Clark. He's got 4 threes as well. And 10 for Edwards and 11 for L. Ellis for the Iowa Wolves.
Well, the bench scoring with Blake Henson with 12. It's a 18-11 advantage for the Santa Cruz Warriors. And again, Santa Cruz started out quick, took a 6-point lead. Iowa battled back to tie it, and then took to a 9-point lead in this ball game. And now Santa Cruz has come back, and they're now kind of settled into battling back and forth here for the last few minutes. Iowa get that timeout to keep the ball.
Keels knocks down a 3-ball, and he gives a little shout out to Coach Ernest Scott for drawing one up for Trevor Keels. Here's the kick to the right wing. Now it's post. Nice post feed there on the basket, cut by Jackson Rowe. Sorry, I've done that twice. Here's Ledee. Clark, right wing 3, no good. And the rebound by Parker. Back for Parker as he looks to drive it. Good kick, 3 coming, right side again, and it's good. Dante Scott getting into the 3-point mix.
Santa Cruz guards have they get into that paint, everybody sucks into it, and then they kick it back out, and you get that open look, and they've been hitting them all. Iowa's got to adjust that defensive kick out.
Ledee will try his 3-point shot. That one a little short, no good. Here comes Javen Johnson, and before he can get going, an illegal screen whistled on post. Jalen Clark a little slow to get up.
Nice crowd here tonight at the Wells Fargo Arena this Saturday evening after New Year's. Iowa's first home game of this regular season, trying to improve on a 1-2 start against Santa Cruz. And again, you want to come out and watch Iowa play the Santa Cruz team. We have another opportunity on Tuesday night, the 7th, 6:30 tip here at the Wells Fargo Arena.
Little entry here for Keels around the free throw line. Keels steps back, floats one up, and it's good.
Keels into double figures now with 11 with that bucket. And the lead's going back and forth here.
A little dribble handoff for Johnson. Post now with it, top of the key. Back for Johnson, a long three there. That's off the mark. And they're going to say last touch by Post. Post really wants a challenge, and I think he's going to get one.
Yep.
So they'll take a look at it. We'll stay right here. We get a quick peek here, and I think that's probably going to be Santa Cruz basketball.
Yeah, again, we welcome everybody watching tonight on NBAGleague.com to the Iowa Wolves and the Santa Cruz Warriors. The head coach, Nicholas Kerr, of course. Papa's the head coach of the big club, so one of those teams that kind of like father, like son. They like to run, don't they, John?
What's his name again? I'm joking. Steve Kerr. One of my best G League memories, since we have a minute, was with Steve Kerr.
Oh, really?
Believe it or not. He was the assistant general manager at the time with the Phoenix Suns. And that's back when the Iowa Energy had an affiliation with 5 different teams, and one of them was the Phoenix Suns. And this is going back roughly 10, 11 years, I would say. And Kansas was playing the University of Northern Iowa in the NCAA tournament. And if certainly Panther fans remember, and I think it was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, Ali Farokhmanesh hits the 3 late to give UNI the lead and ultimately the win. And Nick Nurse was the head coach, now an NBA world champion head coach. He was the head coach for the Iowa Energy. And Steve Kerr and I were in the locker room watching the game in the little video room. And we both yell out a scream or a yell when Farokhmanesh hits the 3, because it was a, David slaying Goliath in the NCAA tournament. And here comes Nick Nurse, a former UNI Panther graduate, wanting to know what was going on with the game he had a lot of interest in. Meanwhile, there's like 9 minutes to go before the tip-off of the game, and all the Iowa Energy players are in the locker room watching the NCAA tournament with us. But yeah, I don't think he ever brought his son to Des Moines on any of those trips, but good to see the success that Nicholas is having. 2 years as an assistant with Santa Cruz, now in his 2nd year as the head coach. Also spent some time in the video department for Golden State, I believe, before his time as an assistant. So kind of that Eric Spoelstra route in terms of probably at some point becoming a head coach in the NBA. You got to think with that success and the success he's having here in the G League. But
you can see some of the offensive concepts, how the guards, like, Stephen Curry driving into the paint, everybody sucks in and they're kicking it out. And if you can't shoot the 3, you don't belong on this team, because they're going to get that ball kicked out. Santa Cruz, if you can shoot a 3, you're going to get some open looks. And Iowa needs to adjust to that. Maybe not dropping so many guys down when that ball gets into the paint on the dribble.
Well, they also have to remember that Cameron Parker is left-handed. He's been going to his left and having a lot of success getting by the defender and into the paint. And with 4 guys spread out on the 3-point circle that can all hit 3s, what do? You've got to defend them one-on-one, or you're going to leave a guy wide open for a 3-point shot.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. That was couldn't tell from our angle what happened, and we knew that it was a battle for the rebound. The bigger guy was behind. It was that post again, and Ledee was in front of him trying to get the ball.
There's no clear conclusive evidence to decide who touched it last. So we're not going to go jump ball because you can't say definitively they both touched it last.
Yeah. So we're going to go ruling on the floor. So the ruling on the floor will stand, and let's give Nate Kearley a shout out. Yeah. The best after review explanations we've had in the G League probably since the reviews have started.
No doubt. I mean, usually they go to the scores they go to the scores table and tell them, and then we're kind of sitting there guessing reading lips from here, but he comes right to us. And thank you, sir, for your job and what you do. The officials are easy to criticize, but
he said no clear evidence to overturn it, basically. And there's Trevor Keels.
Well, Keels is getting it turned on here in the 2nd quarter now. He's heating it up. He's up to 13. The Bakers dozen, and Iowa's tied it up again.
And they keep going to Trevor Keels out of dead balls, which, is a confidence booster for Keels. And he keeps pointing over to whoever's drawing up those plays, saying, keep feeding me. Here's a nice lob up top, and Maxwell with the finish. Credit to Johnson on the assist. Martez Brown keeps it top of the key. Gives it off for Clark. Clark into the paint. Floater up, and a little bit of contact and a foul. That's going to be Marcus Burke picking up the personal.
Now, Burke initially did a good job defensively, and then Clark kind of gave that little turn, and Burke overreacted a little bit and got the body contact, and the foul called for Clark to go to the line.
So Burke back to the bench for the Warriors, and Kevin Knox, the second, will be back out there now.
Again, Iowa with a couple of bigs out tonight with foul trouble, at least on the bench now throughout the rest of the first half. Jeff Edwards with 3, and William Baker also with 3 on the bench for the Iowa Wolves.
Free throw was good, so the lead is now, or the lead is gone. It's 65-65. Maxwell, hands off for Johnson. Johnson's shot off the mark, no good, and a loose ball foul. And who are we going to get here? It looks like somebody knocked Maxwell off position, and I believe it's going to be Ledee.
See, one of the calls that I don't see being like that time was a handoff on the perimeter. I don't know if they can replay it, but it was 2 steps before the guy even took the ball and started on that screen outs on top. No ball went to the floor, yet he had 2 steps. That's traveling. I mean, I don't care. You got to put the ball on the floor on that step there. But it's not being called a couple times, and now, oh, that's incidental. That's just.
Martez Brown got his feet tangled up with Seth Maxwell.
Boy, he's got to be able to use his. Oh, no.
Let's take a peek here on the replay.
He didn't know. Wow. Oh well.
I don't know if their feet touched, but that was either Maxwell stubbing his toe on the hardwood or on the foot of the defender Brown. But another nice finish there by Knox.
17 strong. That was a strong move there by Knox. That was a man shot there into the paint.
There's Ellis along the baseline, back through the paint. Dishes for Ledee. Ledee's 3, no. Clark with the rebound. Jalen puts it off the glass. That won't go. And back out to Collins. Uri will head the other way. Picked up the dribble, gets it right back from Maxwell. Collins drives it, kicks. Knox has been deadly. He stays deadly.
Again, that drive to the paint and then kicking it back out to the open look. Nobody can get out there in time, and give Santa Cruz credit. They're hitting those bunnies from 3.
And last touch, it'll stay with Iowa. Now, I don't want to overreact here, and it's more of a physical appearance than a. But does Knox remind you of any NBA players, both looks and the way he plays? I'll let you chew on that.
Okay, I'll have to. I really hadn't been thinking about it.
It just hit me who he reminds me of. And as the points keep going in, it made it easier to figure out.
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant. He's like a smaller, poor man's version of Kevin Durant.
Yeah, he does have a little bit of that look. I just now saw it myself.
Got a facial resemblance.
Yes.
And he's long and shoots the 3. Like, a lot of similarities there. I can't be the only one that's ever said that.
He's not as long as Kevin Durant, but he is long.
Yeah. 3 at the buzzer.
There's going to be a foul on the floor here. Either somebody pulled somebody down or somebody threw somebody down.
I think
Rowe and Ledee were hooked up. They're going to call it on Rowe.
Rowe knocks Ledee to the floor.
That was from the paint to the bench.
That was not a good foul because the shot clock had expired. And it looked like Santa Cruz was going to control the defensive glass.
So 14 on the shot clock now. This has been a fun first half. Money's worth already to anybody who's come to watch this one. I know I've gotten my thrill.
Here's Ellis. And Maxwell thought about doing a swan dive over the first row and opted against it.
Well, they got 4.8 on the shot clock here. 54 seconds on the game clock, just under 54. Got to get the shot off. I don't know if anybody's aware. No.
And I think Keels was aware, but he was double teamed immediately on the dribble handoff. Good defense there because Keels really had nowhere to go with it.
Nope. It was just kind of nonchalant at the very beginning on the inbounds, though. I was like, you got to be a little bit more on pace.
Here's Collins. Basket cut. Johnson again elevates and knocks it down.
Johnson's good at taking that step before he doesn't put the ball on the floor, and he's getting away with it. That's at least 3 times I've seen that happen tonight.
Here's Ellis off to Clark. Clark kicks to Ledee. Ledee drives it. Ledee floats one up and no good.
Yeah, I was going to say there was
late whistle, but
yeah, there's a foul all the way across the paint.
I wondered because Rowe was making contact basically the entire drive to the basket there by Ledee. So it'll be Ledee at the free throw line.
Nobody's led by more than 9. Iowa led by 9 at one point. The Warriors now with their biggest lead at 7 as we near the half here.
Ledee trying to stop the bleeding a little bit. Santa Cruz has gone on a 7-0 run. We were tied at 65, but there's a 2-point free throw by Jaden Ledee.
He has a half dozen off the bench for the Wolves.
Excuse me. 10 seconds to go here in the first half. Back pass. Knox looks to drive it. Knox lays it up softly off the glass, won't go. Oh, and Maxwell had the offensive rebound, and I think Knox thought the half was over, but that's how the half will end. Very entertaining and high-paced first half offensively. Edwards was strong early, picked up his 3rd foul, had to go to the bench, and a lot of good dishes like that one for the Warriors, and they lead it by 5 at the half here at the Wells Fargo Arena. 72-67, 5-point lead for the Warriors. More Wolves basketball after the break. Santa Cruz Warriors in town for a couple. This is the first of 2 games. Second one Tuesday night, 6:30 tip-off. But we've been thoroughly entertained here.
Yes.
First home game for the Wolves here in the regular season, and Iowa led by as many as 9. The Warriors' biggest lead was 7, but Warriors had that last run to kind of close out the quarter, a 7-2 run to give them that 5-point lead.
Well, both teams combined have thrown up quite a few shots, 41 three-pointers and 20 makes on those 41 three-pointers. That's pretty good shooting itself. The Warriors shot 60.5% from the field on 26 of 43, 12 of 22 from 3. And they ended up with 21 assists on the 26 makes, John. that's a good number to look at when you're playing high-octane offense like that. The 72 points, Kevin Knox had 20 points to lead the way for Santa Cruz. Off the bench, Blake Hinson had 12, including 4 threes, and 11 apiece for Quinton Post and Javen Johnson in the double figures. As far as the Iowa Wolves go, they shot 24 of 44, 55% from the field, 8 of 19, 42% from the field, and on their 24 makes had 13 assists. 4 players in double figures. They include Jalen Clark with 16, including 4 three-point baskets, 13 for Trevor Keels, 11 for El Ellis, and 10 for Jesse Edwards. But then the big notes there, both Jesse Edwards, the starter, and off the bench, William Baker, the bigs, both with 3 personal fouls, and were gone for more than half of the second quarter.
You know, I was looking at the rebound numbers, and it looks pretty lopsided if you look at it, but there's no way it mathematically can be right. They have Iowa listed with 10 total rebounds in the first half. Well, Santa Cruz missed 17 shots, and they have 3 offensive rebounds. That leaves 14 defensive rebounds that Iowa would have had to have gotten, and they only have 10 total.
Yeah.
So I think the rebounding numbers might be a little bit skewed, but
well, the one number, remember early in the game when Iowa had that 6-8 point lead that they built, they had a 10-0 fast break point margin. Look what Santa Cruz stopped that fast break. It's 10-2 at the break. So that second quarter was controlled by Santa Cruz, especially most of the second half of the second quarter.
When Iowa had that little run where they got a couple back-to-back steals and a couple runouts, and then they had a couple transition threes also. It seemed like that all came in one kind of cluster. But then, like you said, the adjustment was made by the Santa Cruz Warriors, and I don't know that there were any second quarter fast break points for the Iowa Wolves.
Well, Quinton Post with 11 points and 8 rebounds. He's on his way to a double-double for Iowa. El Ellis is going to try to earn it with his assist numbers. He has 6 assists with his 11 points to lead Iowa there in a kind of a double-double forecast to the second half. But both teams, John, this has been very entertaining, as you said. A very fast-paced first half, and kind of like watching a mini version of the actual Warriors in the NBA. So, I mean, Golden State and this team mirror each other with different talent.
Well, that's the goal, right?
Yeah, it is.
To develop players and develop players that can come in and play your system when needed. And when it's father and son as the 2 head coaches, maybe that makes things even a little bit easier. Probably more difficult at times too.
Oh yeah.
But certainly things are clicking right now. 3-0 start for the Santa Cruz Warriors, and Iowa just 1 and 2 so far early on in this regular season. Some roster changes that we'll go over after we take a quick timeout. So at the half here at the Wells Fargo Arena, 72-67, the Warriors leading the Wolves. More Wolves basketball after the break. All right, back here, halftime at the Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines. A 5-point lead here for the visiting Santa Cruz Warriors. 3-0 coming in, taking on the Iowa Wolves here, and they lead at 72-67. Some first half highlights. And Tony walked into a different looking roster than we saw when we called Iowa's last pre-tip-off tournament game here at the Wells Fargo Arena. Some changes, two-way contract player Dacian Nix waived by the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they brought in a kid by the name of Tristan Newton to a two-way contract to replace Dacian Nix, but not in uniform yet, so we'll probably see him for the first time on Tuesday night. And then Terrence Howard. I'd like to meet Terrence Howard, but Terrence Shannon Jr., who we've seen a couple of times, well, just once here at the Wells Fargo Arena, but 2 games, I believe, on the road too for Iowa, where he had 30-plus points in both of those games. He was on his way to Iowa, maybe even made it to Iowa, only to be immediately told to turn around and head back to Minneapolis due to a couple illnesses with the parent club. So
Josh Minot came down ill, and of course, you know, injuries too, so he had to turn right back around. So gone was our opportunity to maybe see Terrence Shannon Jr. here tonight.
Also, Iowa acquired Amari Bailey from Long Island for Chasen Randall as part of a 3-team trade with the Nets in Stockton. So a lot of changes.
And Leonard
here.
Miller, who'd been here throughout this first half of the year, he's up with Minnesota now. I mean, he was a double-double machine. Really, well, player of the week how many times, and player of the month in the NBA G League. Definitely earned his spot to get back up there with Minnesota. Completely different person from what he was last year to what he has become this year. Leonard Miller was outstanding here in this first half of the season.
Yeah, he's made great strides on both ends of the floor, adjusting to the NBA game. And, you know, when you don't have Leonard Miller, it's not that you can't win games, but it may take a couple games to kind of adjust to not having Leonard Miller on the floor because he dominates the basketball so much. But surely Ernest Scott and the coaching staff will get things figured out here for Iowa as they chase win number 2. Came in 1-2 tonight. But we'll take our final break of the halftime, and we come back, start of the third quarter. But right now at the half, 72-67, the Warriors lead the Wolves. More Wolves basketball right after this break. Now back here live from Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, 72-67. Warriors leading the Iowa Wolves. Start of the third quarter. It'll be Iowa basketball to start the quarter. And it looks like Nogel Eastern, L. Ellis, Jalen Clark, Trevor Keels, and the big man Jesse Edwards with those 3 fouls to start the third quarter here for Iowa. I'll give you the starting 5 for the Warriors here momentarily. Keels looks to get around a ball screen.
Oh,
Keels
nice.
lays it up, just couldn't quite finish with the scoop shot.
Yeah, Jackson Rowe, Kevin Knox the second, Quentin Post, Javen Johnson, and Yuri Collins the starters back out there to start second half for Santa Cruz. And guess who started where he left off? Huh?
Yep, Kevin Knox the second knocks down the 3 ball.
23 now for Knox.
L. Ellis on a little pull-up. That's off the mark, but Keels there. Keels shot fake. Gets his man in the air. Floater up, no good. Keels just
missed a couple bunnies, unlike Trevor Keels.
Good dish. Rowe has this shot blocked by Edwards. Here's Keels down the right side. Bounce pass for Clark. Clark, little Euro step, but didn't really go anywhere, and then the floater was off the mark.
So Iowa 0 for 3 to start this second half, down 8. Nobody's led by more than 9. That was Iowa in the first half.
Post with the left hand. Good move there over the 7-foot Edwards.
And the first double-digit lead for either team. That's by the Warriors now with 10:35 to go here in the third quarter.
Keels catches to the left wing. Clark's 3 is good.
Clark's 5th three-pointer of the ball game. He now has 19 points for the Iowa Wolves to lead the way.
Collins, top of the key, gets a ball screen from Post. Back to Post. Good closeout, puts it on the floor, and Clark steals it away.
Boy, just threw it right to him.
Clark waits for teammates. Now Ellis with the drive to the corner. Eastern. Keels now a 3 ball, and that's banked in off the window.
Well, he missed 2 bunnies, and then he banks a 3. What kind of a second half is he having?
Trevor almost apologetic with his look over to the bench after knocking down the 3 ball.
Yeah, 16. I mean, that was a straight-on bank shot, too. You don't see that very often.
Yeah, I don't know if that's good or bad.
No,
that went
another steal by Clark.
Up ahead, it's Eastern. Nogel. Nice, pretty change of direction with the reverse layup.
And another steal from Ellis.
Knock down that 3, L. 3 is on the way, no good.
Oh.
And run down Post with a nice job to tap it back for Yuri Collins.
Wow, that was a lot of action in 10 seconds.
That would have been about a 1-minute long 11-0 run. It was a 10-point lead, and now just like that, it's down to 8. Ellis's 3 would have given Iowa the lead back. Oh, Nogel took his eye off the ball for a minute. Knox with the drive. Pretty lay-in by Knox.
Nogel mad at himself. He let Knox take that step on him, and he knew he was beat.
Knox already with 5 here in the third quarter. Here's Keels. Floater. Good little fadeaway along the baseline. That looked a little better than the bank 3.
That's the best shot he's made tonight in the third quarter. 18 now for Keels.
Back pass by Johnson to Post. Post, the 7-footer, knocks down a 3.
Yeah, these big guys, even on this Golden State franchise team from Santa Cruz, they can hit them 3s too. He has 16 now.
We're right back to where we started, a 5-point lead to start the quarter. Jalen Clark. He'll fire the 3 ball. It's good. Boy, similar to the start of the first half, just hot shooting by both teams.
22 now for Clark. He has a half dozen 3-point makes.
Post driving. Oh, and Post just lets out a roar after that one. That was a strong move. I like Post in this game.
Yeah.
Able to hit the 3 and then go down and finish strong. Clark. Edwards. Going at Post. Edwards. Tough shot. Won't go. Well defended. In the post by Post. Now Collins looks to drive it. Back to Post. He's hot. No, doesn't stay hot. Off the mark. That thing rattled in and out.
Yeah, it looked good.
Ellis around a screen.
Oh.
Lobs it up. Edwards, two-hand flush.
Post made a mistake that time, left to help double team and nobody to help on the backside. Good pass by L. Ellis.
Now it's Collins. Lob up for Post. A foul by Ellis and another roar by Post. He's having a quarter.
Oh, this is fun. I don't care what team you're cheering for here. These guys are having putting on a show here so far.
Lobs it over Edwards. Perfect pass, and Post just a little more of a finesse finish there, but a very aggressive roar after the finish.
Well, the guy who came off the bench and lit it up in the first half comes back in now for Santa Cruz, and Blake Hinson. We're also going to get Post out of there if he once he had the next dead ball.
Well, Post all of a sudden has 20. What was his halftime total?
I'd have to double check that one.
Not to put you on the spot, but
Post had 9 at the break.
11 here in the first 5 minutes. Beautiful finish by Edwards. You already see marked improvement by Edwards finishing on those tough catches around the rim. Edwards has a lot of upside.
Post had 11 at the break. Grabbed the wrong sheet.
So 9 total here. Post looking to drive it and lost the handle, gets it back, fades away, off the mark, no good.
Well, one of the shots he probably should have made, didn't make it that time.
Now Eastern drives it along the baseline, floater up, no good. Caught the rim twice but didn't fall. Parker back for Post. Post three ball off the mark. He's cooled a bit.
Yep.
And a timeout called by Ernest Scott.
I think everybody needs a break here, even the fans right now. Head's going to be jerking back and forth here.
Even the broadcasters. We'll step away. 5:59 to go here, quarter number 3. It's the Warriors 87, the Wolves 84. More Wolves basketball after this break. Now back here at the Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, tricycle races have broken out here during the timeout. Mom is just beating the crap out of her son on the tricycles, even with the flat front tire.
Well, nobody's got a flat tire in the court for Santa Cruz or the Iowa Wolves.
She lapped him, Tony.
What a ball game. 87-84, Santa Cruz on top. Kevin Knox the second with 25. Quentin Post has taken over with 11 here in the third quarter, or 10 here in the third quarter. He has 21 points. For Iowa, Jalen Clark has 22. He is 6 of 8 from 3 and 18 for Trevor Keels. So it's just been one fun ball game. Biggest lead's been 10 by the Warriors, 9 by the Wolves. There have been 4 lead changes and 6 ties. And guess what? If you like tonight's game, you're going to like it Tuesday. They're back at it right here at the Wells Fargo Arena at 6:30. Iowa Wolves and the Santa Cruz Warriors.
And Tuesday, Iowa will probably have 2, if not 3 other new players in uniform. Here's Ellis.
And one.
Scoop shot. Ellis, the and one.
And if he makes it, we'll be tied for the 7th time in this ball game.
Ellis was really good early, and then it kind of got a little quiet in the second, but asserting himself here with a little scoop shot. So Ellis to the line to shoot 1.
He has 7 assists to go with his 13 points right now.
And the free throw up and good, and we're tied at 87. Maxwell's checked on for Post. Maxwell had it, thought about a three. Instead, three on the way off the mark there.
Starting to cool off a little bit finally. I think the last three-pointers shot by Santa Cruz have been off. And that's the longest streak I've remembered in this game.
Keels three, that one's off the mark, no good.
In fact, Santa Cruz is 14 of 27 from three. Iowa's 11 of 24 now from three.
Right wing it goes. Back for Parker. Into the corner, back iron, no good. Nice job by Edwards to tap it to his teammate Nogel Eastern. Eastern in transition is going to be fouled.
I think Knox might be the one. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it was Knox on the foul.
That's his third.
And just look, I mean, Nogel like a freight train coming down the middle of the floor. Good luck getting in, you know, you don't want to get in his way.
No.
You're kind of left to just.
Well, Edwards didn't get in any more foul trouble. He has three. He goes to the bench now, and Baker, who also has three, checks in for for Jesse Edwards. As Eastern will try to give Iowa the lead for the fifth lead change in this ball game. There have been 7 ties.
Baker had 7 points in the first half. See if he can continue that production here in the second. Nogel Eastern knocks down the free throw, and Iowa has the lead back. Our fifth lead change of the ball game here.
Wadee is going to get set to check in for Iowa.
Here's Henson. Off the window, no good.
Baker did a really good job straight up with his arms and forced a tough shot that time.
Here's Eastern. Back for Baker. Baker looks to drive it. Baker stops, puts the brakes on. Nice shot there by Baker.
Well, at both ends now. Good defensive effort on one end, and he comes back in the other end and pays it off with a bucket, a hard-earned bucket, in fact.
Iowa's defense seems to have ratcheted up here a little bit. Ellis defending the ball screen. Parker into the paint. Good dish off for Maxwell, and he is fouled by Baker. And the and one for Maxwell.
That's the fourth on Baker.
Look at just a great dish there. Parker's been doing that all night. Getting into the paint, drawing the defender, drawing the help. And then Baker couldn't quite recover.
Clark's going to check out. Ledee checks in now for Iowa now. Iowa nursing a 2-point lead. Might be at 1 after this free throw.
And then Maxwell knocks down the free throw to complete the 3-point play.
Maxwell has 5 off the bench in his post work for post.
Here's Eastern, top of the key. Gives off for Keels. Keels looks to drive it right side. Keels with the little scoop shot up and in.
Keels now with 20 for Iowa.
Here comes Johnson. Quick trigger 3 off the mark. Maxwell got a hand on it. Oh, that looked maybe last touch by Maxwell. Not sure.
Baker's not really reacting to it like he didn't think it was him. I mean, there's not any reaction from Baker. And that'll usually probably tell you enough.
Boy, that's another one where it'd be really hard to overturn that, as both guys kind of had their hand on it. Johnson through the lane, Euro off the glass and in. Boy, he covered some ground.
Yeah, he does.
And we're going to have a turnover on the inbound. So Iowa leads by 1, but sputtering here just a little bit on the last couple possessions.
Well, they're down by as many as 10 to start this third quarter on the fast start by Quentin Post.
Johnson blows by. Oh, look at that arcing shot.
Wow.
Over the 7-footer.
Ain't nothing you can do with that thing. Nothing but a feather touch there.
Javen Johnson kind of taking over the scoring here for Santa Cruz.
And it's been one of those games where it seems like somebody has that little streak or run, personal run in them, and carries the team for a while.
Nogel Eastern with a floater of his own. And Iowa with the lead back.
7th lead change, 3 in the last minute and a half.
Collins gets a couple screens,
wow.
It up, and Maxwell got just enough on it to get it through the cylinder. I'm not sure that wouldn't have went in anyway.
Yeah, so I was wondering, did he need to touch that 7 for Maxwell?
Here's L. Ellis, 3 ball, good. Trading buckets again, and a timeout called. We will step away, 2:39 to go here in the third. 98-96, the Wolves lead the Warriors. More Wolves basketball right after the break.
Thought it was Florida and you had to go down there.
Yeah, back here live, 2:39 to go here, quarter number 3. The Iowa Wolves lead is 2, 98-96.
9 lead changes, 5 in the last couple of minutes here between these two teams. Looks like Walter Ellis is going to come in now out of that timeout for the Iowa Wolves. Ledee and Baker, L. Ellis, and Trevor Keels with the 5 for Iowa. Let's see the other side of the floor here in a moment with Seth Maxwell, one of them, Collins.
Here's Collins into the paint. Collins still maintains the dribble over the 7-footer. Shot good.
Well, hearing that one, Baker did everything but block that shot.
And
I don't know how Collins got that off.
Baker just kind of tipped the cap like, man, that was a wonderful shot.
Yeah.
I'm 7 foot and I had my hand right there. And
Foul's going to be on Collins.
Is that going to be a...
And now they're going to talk about it.
They originally called it a shooting foul. Now they're going to say a side out. It was that rip through maneuver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the officials should. Nobody's talking about it. I guess they're going to keep it the way it is. They're going to side out.
I suppose they could have asked for a review there, but Iowa kept the basketball, so they'll play on. Here's L. Ellis, top of the key. Keels tries the 3-ball off the front of the iron, no good. Ledee was right up around the rim.
Somebody must have got a piece of that ball because Ledee looked like he was ready to throw it down as soon as he caught it.
Backdoor cut. Oh,
what a save.
Scott swings it around. Up top, Yuri Collins looking to go to work again on the 7-footer. Johnson, hand in his face. That one no good. Walter Ellis with the rebound. L. Ellis into the front court for Iowa. Tied at 98. Minute 20 to go in the third. Ellis drops it back for Baker. 3-ball by Baker. Off the iron, no good. Rebound went to the Warriors. Javen Johnson looks to drive it. Into the corner now. No look pass. And the 3 from the left corner up and good by Dante Scott.
20. That's 8 points for Scott. And another lead change. Keeps adding up. 10th one.
Ellis back for Baker. Baker gives it right back to Ellis. And a 3 from the right wing.
Oh, what a rebound by Ledee.
Ledee finds Baker. Walter Ellis, 3, got it. And we're tied at 101.
First bucket in the game for Walter Ellis off the bench.
Collins goes to work on Ellis. Step back and a foul and an and one here as Walter Ellis fouls the shooter Yuri Collins. Collins has made a couple tough fadeaways. Here you see the replay. Collins steps back. Yeah. Walter Ellis was saying he kind of kicked his right foot out to draw the contact. Not sure I don't agree with that, but nonetheless, Collins' free throw is up and good, and the three-point play stands. 104-101. Iowa should have the last possession of the third quarter. 15 seconds to play. Ellis gives it off for Keels. Keels gets the screen from Baker. Into the corner. Ledee will fire the three. And Ledee
Shooter's touch there.
Gets it to go. A heave at the buzzer. No good.
We're starting over again, John.
And we'll head to the fourth tied. 104-104. The Warriors and the Wolves as we head to the fourth. More Wolves basketball after the break. Now back here for the start of the fourth quarter, tied at 104. We've had 10 leads and lead changes and 10 ties. This thing's been back and forth. All 5 starters for the Iowa Wolves in double digits. Tony, you're pointing out a number on the stat sheet. Attendance 53-67, over 5,300 here tonight. And they've been loud.
Oh, they've loved every minute of it. I don't think anybody's leaving them. They might have called somebody and said, hurry up and get down here and watch this fourth and maybe overtime the way this is going. What a ball game. 22 for Jalen Clark, 20 for Trevor Keels to lead Iowa, 25 for Kevin Knox the second, 21 for Quentin Post to lead the way for Santa Cruz. By the way, Post has a double-double going with his 10 rebounds as well. And how about Yuri Collins? 15 assists.
Wow.
Yeah, 29 of the 39 makes for Santa Cruz have been assisted, 15 by Yuri. Iowa has 20 assists on their 38 makes. And Trevor Keels and Ellis with 7 apiece on the assist side.
A foul called on Jalen Clark away from the ball. So 14 on the shot clock here. Post back for Collins. Collins, that ball kicked by Edwards.
They'll put 14 on the shot clock now, and it was down to 3.9, so good defense. But now the kick ball is going to reset it a little bit for Santa Cruz here.
Knox triggers in for Post. Gets it right back. Knox going to go to work, top of the key. Step back, 18-footer, good. A little bit quiet after that quick 5 to start the third, but Knox with 27 now to lead all scorers. Here's Ellis. He'll try the 3. That's off the mark, no good.
Again, both these teams back at it here at the Wells Fargo Arena. They'll have a couple days off, be back at it on Tuesday night. 6:30 start. We welcome everybody watching tonight. Hope you've enjoyed it here on NBAGleague.com. Ooh, oh boy, that was just hustle for the ball, but luckily nobody's hurt. I hope not, anyway.
Yeah, Collins.
I almost got.
You see the ball hit.
Lost control there. Both diving for it. I mean, there was nowhere to go for Ellis, and he was already losing his balance, and it's just in a wrong place at the wrong time situation.
So a new 14 on the shot clock. Collins has it. Collins, that's his spot. Knocks it down over the 7-footer.
Collins with 9 points.
Boy, he has been fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Ellis looks to turn the corner, shut down by Collins. Now Edwards into the post. Defended by Post. There's a nice move, but just left it a little short.
Good
No Eastern with the rebound.
Yeah, Edwards kept it alive, and Eastern hustled to get it right there against the baseline.
8 on the shot clock. Ellis drives it. Ellis hangs in the air. Left-hand layup, no good.
Nice try by Edwards to get the ball, but nobody there to pick it up. Oh, that's a loose ball thanks to Jalen Clark.
Clark looks to attack 2-on-1, and
oh boy,
blocking foul. Ooh. And a basket for Jalen Clark. Not sure if Yuri Collins was in the restricted area. He was not, but you see the feet just sliding just a little bit.
Boy, I thought I was going to go the other way for a second from my angle, but I couldn't tell clearly. That's why I kind of hesitated for a minute to see where the call was going to go. But Clark with the bucket has 24 and looking to make it 25. He has 5 threes in the game. This will be the conventional way, the basket and 1.
He has 6 threes, I believe.
Oh, 6? Yeah, 6 threes.
Well, now he's got a 7th, kind of.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to.
So the lead is 1 for the Warriors. Here's Rowe. Bounce pass for Post. And Post fouled underneath.
Good foul by Ellis really there, because Post had an easy bucket as the switch came, and everybody got caught off guard there. So make Post earn it at the line, but nobody's missed the free throw tonight on either team. Both teams are perfect combined 15 of 15.
Yeah, Quentin Post, 24-year-old, 7-foot center, played at Boston College. It's been really good in this game. Free throw is up and good.
So both teams 8 of 8 on free throws. That one for 2 points for Post. He now has 23. Knox leading the way for the Warriors with 27.
No Eastern. Keels can't get it to go, and it's run down by Knox. Knox into the open floor now. Knox lays it softly off the window. What body control.
Just kind of just floated on down court, nonchalant, and then all of a sudden a nice explosive step, beating everybody defensive that was trying to play defense with him, and puts it up and in for 29 points.
5-point lead here for the Warriors. Walter Ellis lobs it up, and that's going to be a foul, I believe, on, well, they're going to say from behind. It was Jackson Rowe. And not a shooting foul, so it'll be a side out here for Iowa.
14 on the shot clock, 9:21 here in this game clock. It was 38-33 Wolves after 1. The Warriors took the lead at the break, and then Iowa had this tied up at the end of 3. And here we go now into the 4th quarter, battling back and forth.
No Eastern knocks down a 3-ball.
13 for Eastern. Big bucket there to kind of squelch the little run by the Warriors.
Post gives it back for Yuri Collins. Collins probing. Collins into the paint.
Wow.
Scoop shot up and good. Foul called. Eastern will pick it up and a chance for a three-point play.
No, it's not Eastern. I think it's on Edwards. Yeah, I think Edwards just picked that up.
It was Edwards.
Yep, his 4th. But Edwards has done a good job. He had 3 at the break. He has only his first foul here in the second half, so, but he gets and 1 foul there. And I tell you what, Nogel Eastern trying to stay in front of Collins, that's just a tough match. And he's done a decent job till his Collins is so quick, man.
Yeah, anybody trying to stay in front of Collins has been an issue tonight.
Yeah. Collins now with a dozen. And that goes with his 15+ assists, so he has a double-double. Amazing player.
And Nogel Eastern at the rim, can't finish. Last touch by the Warriors. So it'll be Iowa basketball, baseline right here.
Well, heading into this fourth quarter, we had 10 lead changes, and the game had been tied 10 times. Most of those at the tail end of that third quarter where they were going back and forth. Nogel needs to get it in, and just does.
Back for Ellis. Ellis 3, off the mark, no good. And a rebound by Rowe.
Nice solid rebound by Rowe. Eastern was trying to get through there, and Rowe said, I got this, box out.
Post. Off the window and in, and a timeout called by Ernest Scott.
What are they calling?
Just a timeout.
No, they called a foul on technical on Jalen Clark.
A technical foul, so we'll shoot a free throw after the timeout. We step away. 8:21 to go here in quarter number 4. It's the Warriors 117, the Wolves 110. More Wolves basketball right after this break. Well, back here live, 8:21 to go here in the fourth quarter. Santa Cruz now leads at 115 or 117-110. And I believe we're going to have a technical free throw shot here by Santa Cruz before it goes back to Iowa. Here you see the replay here, and there's the technical, the reaction that elicited the technical. There was a timeout called before that. That's one where.
Yeah, I all of a sudden I heard the whistle. I saw the official not calling it a timeout. He was not. That's not I usually call a timeout. So definitely, they got a technical, and going to the line will be the man who's had a great game tonight, and Mr. Knox the second. Quentin goes to the line looking for points. Point number 30 here. It's a 1-point free throw, is it not, or is it 2?
1-point free throw here for.
And then Iowa will get the ball.
So Kevin Knox hits the 30-point mark after the technical free throw is made.
30 for Knox, 23 for Quentin Post. Post also has 10 rebounds for a double-double. Yuri Collins, 12 points. He has 15 assists to lead Santa Cruz. Iowa, they're led by Jalen Clark with 25. 20 by Trevor Keels, who also has 17 assists, and L. Ellis with 17 with 7 assists.
Here's Keels, turn in the corner. Back pass, Ledee. Ledee elevates, shot up, in and out, no good.
Good looking shot, just rimmed in and out. It was Iowa down by 8. Nobody's led by more than 10. The Warriors led by 10 in the third quarter. Iowa led by 9 in the first half. There's been 10 lead changes and 10 ties. And right now, Iowa with 7:57 to go. A lot of time in this one, the way this is going.
Collins.
Game's kind of muddied up a little bit.
Collins threw that one away. His third turnover to go with 15 assists. Here's Keels through the lane, now back out right wing. Iowa a little stagnant on offense. Keels will try a 3-ball. Boy, they just have kind of lost their flow here a little bit. And now it's Knox on the drive. Knox with the bump. Shot no good.
No. I don't know what else No-Gel Eastern could have done. He was backing up defensively, and the contact was initiated by the offensive player there.
That's not the way the officials saw it.
No, I know, but watch it. I mean,
yeah, that's a foul.
I don't know.
Tony's wanting a little home cooking.
Yeah, let me give you a homer. Knox is going for 32. Nobody has missed a charity shot. We can't even jinx that, John. Everybody's hit their free throws tonight, both teams. 11 of 11 for the Santa Cruz Warriors and 9 of 9 opportunities for Iowa.
There's a good pass. Eastern bumped on his way to the basket, so No-Gel will head to the free throw line.
Biggest lead in the game is at 10. The Warriors have it right now with 7:19 to go. Second time they've put that 10-point lead up, once in the third.
Yeah, Iowa's got their work cut out for them here a little bit.
Upcoming schedule as far as the Iowa Wolves and Santa Cruz Warriors after Tuesday night's game between these two teams here. The Warriors will be on the road against the Suns on the 12th and 13th before coming home against Mexico City and the Capitanes on the 17th. Next home game for Santa Cruz. For Iowa, their next games are going to be on the road against Salt Lake City on January 9th and 11th against Rio Grande Valley.
Well, Ledee with the offensive rebound after the No-Gel Eastern missed free throw. We'll take a timeout. They're going to review it, but quick timeout. When we come back, we'll give you the update on the review. 121-10. More Wolves basketball right after this break. Now back here, 7:15 to go in the fourth. The lead currently at 20. They're reviewing that last play. No-Gel Eastern missed a free throw. It was rebounded by Ledee of Iowa. His shot was no good. Coach Ernest Scott thought that there was a foul, and then the ball was awarded to Santa Cruz after the ball went out of bounds. So I'm not sure if they're reviewing
both, I
who
think.
touched it last, and or was there a foul on the shot attempt by Ledee.
The chief is Nate Kearley. They're looking at it. In fact, he called both of his crew members over, J.P. Prim and William McClatch, one at a time, to kind of double check with each of them and saw along with him. So they're definitely having a tough time seeing exactly to make a confirmed call yet. So a lot of time on this review. Usually they're already done and over and told us about it. And they're still now all three huddling right in front of us here, trying to take a look of what they want to do here. Again, upcoming schedule for the Iowa Wolves. They'll be on the road after Tuesday night's matchup with these same Santa Cruz Warriors. The 9th at Salt Lake City, the 11th at Rio Grande Valley before coming home on the 13th of January with Rip City, on the 15th with Greensboro, and the Valley Suns coming to town on the January 23rd and 24th. As far as Santa Cruz, their next home game against Mexico City and the Capitanes on the 17th and the 20th against the Kings. They'll be on the road against the Suns franchise again. Valley Suns on the 12th and 13th. Upcoming games for the Santa Cruz Warriors. And we're talking over with John right now about what the call was on the head official, Nate Kearley, explaining it clearly to John, and we'll get that final note here from John in a moment.
I mean, could Nate
be any better.
Kearley be any more like thorough on his explanation. He said there was a foul on Knox, so a team foul, and Ledee will be headed to the free throw line prior to the ball going out of bounds.
So Knox picked up his 3rd foul. Both teams now, by the way, with 7:15 to go in the game, John, both teams have 4 team fouls. So we're going to be shooting free throws for the remainder of this one. Iowa only has 1 timeout left plus the advance, while the Warriors have allotted 4 yet. So Iowa's had to use quite a few. Down 10 right now, and Ledee at the line, trying to add himself into double figures with a free throw to get him to 11 on the 1-for-2 free throws.
So Ledee at the line. And the free throw up and good. Ledee knocks down the 2-point free throw, and the lead is 8 here for Santa Cruz. Against Yuri Collins, 15 assists on the game so far. Collins with it. Back out top. Johnson gives it back for Collins. Collins looks to go to work, defended by Ledee. Fades away, knocks it down.
Collins, boy, when you need a shot, he's put it in. When you need a great pass, he's given it up. 14 for Collins now. 10-point game again.
Lead back to 10. Now Ellis. Back pass for Clark. 3 on the way. Rattles in and out. No
Boy,
good.
that looked in pretty good and just rattled out of there. Bad break for Iowa on that shot from Clark.
Collins has it stripped away. Ledee on the attack. Gives it off for Clark. Clark lays it up and in.
Clark is 27. That's the only thing that's been different for the Warriors. 15 turnovers to only 7 by Iowa in this ball game. If there's been one advantage, it's been a few more turnovers.
Little double team on Collins. Wide open shot. Rattles in and out, and there's Post at the front of the rim.
Yeah.
No closeout on Post,
Nope.
and he makes Iowa pay.
Post has 25. He has 13 rebounds. Pretty solid effort by the big man tonight.
And little scoop shot off the mark there by Clark. Lead 10. There's a nice look inside for Rowe. Wide open shot up and good.
I was already shaking my head. I'm like, oh man, this is like a free throw to him out there. 35 for Knox. He had all night to shoot that one because of everybody collapsing defensively.
Here's Ellis off the back of the iron, no good. Post with the rebound. Iowa's just gone cold and ran out of real estate there along the baseline.
Edwards now checking in for Ledee. And Iowa needs, they've had some, good looking shots just haven't dropped, while the other end, the Warriors, and their opportunities, they've put everything in and they've built their biggest lead of the game. Well, 3-0 coming into tonight where the Warriors, Iowa 1-2 on this regular season.
Here's Keels. Looks to drive it, and they're going to say he's fouled by Rowe.
5 now on Rowe if that's on him.
And that'll put Trevor Keels at the line. Iowa trailing 13 here.
It is the 5th on Rowe. Again, Edwards back in. He had 3 at the half, but only has 4 now, so he's kept himself out of any danger, at least with 5 minutes to go. And the first free throw of the night missed by either team. Oh, second one?
Yep, Eastern missed one right after you jinxed us.
I'm sorry. Wrong team, huh?
Here's Collins. Lobs it up, and that's going to be an offensive foul. And I think Post's foot inadvertently hit L. Ellis in the head. Now they're talking about maybe. Yeah, they're going to
check
review
him
it
for a flagrant pass. He wanted him to review it. He might have asked more than he wanted there. But they're going to review. Okay.
Well, 4:48 to go here. 13-point game.
Checking if it was a flagrant on Post. It's only his 3rd personal foul, but.
Now, I don't know that they gave Iowa the 2 points for the free throw by Keels.
He missed it.
Oh, you're right. That's why they didn't give it to him.
Remember, you corrected me that that's a second miss. So. All right. Tuesday night, Santa Cruz is back here at the Wells Fargo Arena. 6:30 tip. Santa Cruz right now looking to improve to 4-0 on the season. Iowa trying to even up their mark at 2-2. But if you like tonight's game, and again, thank you to the fans tonight. Over 5,500 fans showed up here to the arena to watch this one on a Saturday night after New Year's. And a good support from Iowa Wolves fans tonight.
When you look around, a lot of the private suites are occupied. Well over 5,000 in the stands.
A lot of kids enjoying themselves here tonight as well.
A lot of noise. It's been a great night.
One of the biggest things for Iowa that's kept them in the game, Santa Cruz has had 17 turnovers, Iowa 7. Fast break points, it was 10-0 to start the game. Neither team's really taken any advantage here for the game. It's 17-2. What about, I mean, Kevin Knox, 12 of 15, haven't been able to stop him. 6 of 7 from 3, 35 points. Quentin Post, 27 points, 12 rebounds. Yuri Collins, 6 of 7 from the field. When he shot, he's made it, 14 points. And he also has 15 assists in this game. For Iowa, Jalen Clark, 9 of 16, 6 of 9 from 3 for 27. Trevor Keels is 8 of 18, 20 points. 17 for Ellis. Both Keels and Ellis have 7 assists to lead the Iowa Wolves today. And nobody with more than 5 rebounds. That's by Jalen Clark. Iowa's been out-rebounded by the margin of 30-22, a +8 margin there for the Santa Cruz Warriors. So now they're taking that review to see if it was a flagrant on Quentin Post.
Well, when you're playing a...
There's a review now as Yuri Collins throws it up, and oh, I don't think
I think that's just an unfortunate reality.
Yeah.
7 feet tall and being guarded by a guy that's 5'11".
But you also still can't stick your leg out that way. That's why the foul was called, but I can't see that being intentional or flagrant.
Yeah, we'll see in a minute, but
he wanted him to review it in the first place to start with as soon as the call was on him. So just his own reaction, I didn't think it was like an intentional kick of anybody. And Ellis just happened to be at the wrong place. He's just going up now.
We do not determine that Quentin Post's act was unnecessary in nature. We think he's catching his balance, and just so happened that a defender was there to catch it. We don't think it's unnecessary. We think it's a common foul, offensive foul, no additional penalties.
Yeah, boy, outstanding. And exactly what it looked like, John.
Yeah.
Exactly what the explanation was by the head man, Nate Kearley. And again, as you've said so many times tonight, great job by him to explain it so that we understand what was going on. But we saw it on replay there after they had discussed it, and you could tell it was just trying to keep his balance, like he said, and Ellis's head happened to be in the way. And the foul is just a normal personal. I'm not sure why they're not shooting the foul, though, because is that offensive? You don't shoot.
It was an
okay.
offensive foul.
Because that's a 15 foul on the Warriors.
Here's Edwards going to work inside. Edwards off the glass, won't go, and they're going to have a foul, I believe, on Post.
That's his 5th if it's on him. So Knox has 4. No, there's only his 4th. Okay.
So that'll put Edwards at the line. Iowa trailing 13 here, a little under 4.5 to go.
So the only person with 5 fouls in the game right now is with Santa Cruz, and the Warriors in row. Free throw missed. Iowa's missed 3 free throws here to cost them some valuable points if they were going to try to make a comeback down 13.
Missed 3 straight.
Yep.
And you're playing a team that's shooting over 63% from the field as a team and 100% from the line.
And this guy has just been POG, player of the game, 37 points for Knox.
Lead now up to 15, largest of the ball game for either team. Jalen Clark into the paint, lobs it up for Edwards, who flushes it through.
Clark with his 2nd assist.
Now let's see if that gets Iowa going here. They've got a lot of work to do, trailing 13 with 3:45 to go.
Yeah, we've seen enough games to know this is still plenty of time, but you got to make some stops first, and so far you haven't made many stops against the Santa Cruz Warriors teams. They consistently find a way to make a bucket.
So a kicked ball, the 14-second shot clock will be reset here. And Collins will trigger it in for Santa Cruz. Boy, the performance by Kevin Knox II has been one of the better ones we've seen all year here in this building.
Oh, yeah. And we've gotten to see Leonard Miller and all of his fantastic performances, so we've seen it on our side. But as far as a team that coming in here, no, Knox has been phenomenal.
Johnson off the mark with that 3. Here's Clark. Ellis. Runner for Ellis gets it to go.
I don't know about Knox's full season, but you kind of alluded to it. If he's not a two-way player, somebody ought to try to look at signing him, because what we've seen here is as good as you see in this league. And why is he not a two-way?
Based on tonight's performance,
yes.
Why is he not on an NBA roster?
Yeah.
He's one of the best players I've seen all season. Maybe I'd have to dive a little deeper into that.
Yeah, that's what I said. We haven't seen him play all the time, but tonight, you got to say, wow.
Jalen Clark, Iowa on a 6-0 run. Chance to be 7 with Clark's free throw after the and 1.
Clark has 29, looking at 30 with the free throw coming up.
Exactly what you couldn't do if you're Santa Cruz, and that's allow 3
and that's
straight
Rowe's
buckets.
6th, so he's out.
So Rowe to the bench with 6 fouls. Dante Scott will check in. A discussion at the scorer's table. And Jalen Clark, chance to get to 30 points on the night. And chance to cut the lead to 8. It was 15 just moments ago.
Finally, we break that 3 straight free throw miss ice, which cost us 5 points. Us being Iowa. Apologies to the Warrior fans out there listening on NBAGleague.com. And a steal.
Another steal. Jalen Clark into the front court. Ellis, open 3, off the mark, no good.
This place is ready to erupt.
Boy,
that ball left his hand. That was a big opportunity there for Iowa. You're going to get many more of those. Again, the turnovers have kept Iowa somewhat in this game. Santa Cruz doubling up the turnover margin. That's an easy one. Another assist by Collins. He just makes it easy for everybody out there.
16th assist on the night for Yuri Collins. Trevor Keels drives it, lays it up and in.
22, but again, no stops. No, doesn't matter. Under 2 minutes to go. Now we'll be shooting the value of the free throws. We go under the 2-minute mark.
Collins, a standing dribble out front.
No need to be in any hurry with a 10-point lead in this one. Cut the opportunities down.
Collins drives it and throws it off. Kind of a low delivery to post.
Yeah.
I think he wanted it up higher or a bounce pass there, but
Collins with his 5th turnover. But then when you have 16 or 17 assists, and
yeah,
that kind of counters that 3-to-1 ratio.
Still a good ratio.
Yes, it is.
Ellis picks it up in the front court.
Iowa's got to be a little bit more urgent while getting a good shot. Now there's a post is going to pick up a cheap foul there.
Edwards will head to the line.
Just not a good foul there by Post. It was so obvious.
Well, it's going to be an easy bucket,
yeah.
So maybe a good foul, but a dangerous play too.
Yeah, it can get somebody hurt. 5th on Post, or 4. I think it should be his 5th. It is. Yeah. So Post is on the margin of going out in case this game gets extended. Right now, got to hit some free throws and some stops for the Wolves. And another free throw missed.
Well, I was wondering which team was going to blink first at the line, and unfortunately it was Iowa down the stretch. And
if they made them all,
that's really the difference on the scoreboard right now.
It'd be a 2-point game if they made them all. And it's crazy to think you're going to make every one, but boy, that's 7 points left off the board right now by Iowa.
And you're down 8.
Yeah.
So here's Collins. Minute 20 to go. Iowa desperately needs a stop here. Oh,
another turnover.
Clark in the front court. And Clark's going to turn it over. Knox on the run out.
Well, Knox said
through with the right hand.
Yeah, you got me, but I got you right back. And Knox finishes it on the other end. 39 for Knox tonight. Definitely the player of this game.
Ellis flips it over the shoulder and in.
Ellis now to 21 points in the ball game, but Iowa down 8, and not enough time here. They got to get more urgent defensively, and Iowa just kind of standing around, not trying to help out here.
Knox gives it up. Santa Cruz just using clock here. Now Collins goes to work. Collins, tough shot over Clark. Misses
Gotta
one
go.
finally.
I don't care if you miss, you got to go and shoot. You got to do something here.
Here's Ellis. Ellis driving, another runner, another bucket good for
23 now for Ellis, down to 6 points, but times against Iowa. Now we got a whistle on Jalen Clark. Quick foul there.
Foul given by Clark. I think that's his second personal. So the lead's 6 here. We're going to need some missed free throws by Santa Cruz if Iowa's going to work their way all the way back here.
Again, Santa Cruz came in unblemished on this early part of the regular season at 3 wins and 0 losses. Iowa 1 win and 2 losses. Both teams played all 3 of their games on the road. Santa Cruz on their 4th straight road game, and they'll have 5, 6, and 7 before they finally get to play their first home game until the 17th against Mexico City and the Capitanes. Iowa will be home again with Santa Cruz on Tuesday. They'll hit the road for a couple games on the 9th and 11th before coming home on the 13th and 15th with Rip City and Greensboro coming to town.
And both free throws are good, so the lead is up to 8.
So Iowa has a timeout. That's their final timeout.
So they'll likely advance it here after the timeout. 23.7 seconds to go here in the 4th. 8-point deficit. We've seen some crazy ones, but they would need to be crazy for Iowa to somehow even this thing up.
Yeah.
3-possession lead here for Santa Cruz.
Yeah, just a little better efforts on the shooting percentage-wise. Iowa just hovering around or just under that 50% mark, but Iowa can never get Santa Cruz anywhere close to under that 60% mark for the whole ball game, John. It's just been 6 out of 10 shooting all night. You're just not, I don't care how good you're playing offensively, because Iowa really hasn't done that badly offensively. Most nights hovering around 48 to 50%. You got a good chance of winning, but not when the other teams like Santa Cruz and how they've played tonight.
Well, and Iowa's shooting 43% from 3-point range. Yeah. That's well above
way
their
better
season average.
Yeah. Santa Cruz shooting about 49%, but boy, what an effort tonight. Kevin Knox II, just the best of the efforts at 39 points now unofficially, and Quentin Post with a double-double, Yuri Collins with a double-double.
Edwards looks to drive it. Edwards lays it up and in.
20 seconds down to a 6-point game, and now a quick foul. And Collins, who looks very comfortable at the free throw line, well, you can go to the charity stripe and try to add a couple more here.
Collins right now at 16 points and I believe 16 assists.
It's 16 or 17 for sure. That's 16's for sure.
Chance to add to those 16 points here and add to the 6-point lead with just under 18 seconds to play. Collins free throws up and good.
Post and Edwards, I don't know what the conversation is, but they both were laughing pretty good with each other there, so. And the first free throw missed, but Post gets the rebound and Edwards defends it, but we got to go here quick if Iowa has a chance.
Got to be a 3. Oh, a foul call.
And it's going to be a 3-point shot.
I think it's waiting to see if it's a shooting foul.
Who they calling on? They call on Yuri Collins. They're only going to give him 2. I thought he was beyond the arc when he started that.
Well, I don't think they awarded him a shooting foul.
Oh, that's what it was.
So
explain it to me.
Clark knocks down the first, down to 6-point lead. Unfortunately, down to 8.7 seconds to go.
Yeah, at this point, you almost need to miss and miss it badly so it might cream out and maybe somebody from Iowa can get the rebound.
Ladie checks in, like you said.
See, Coach Ernest Scott just found out it was not a 3. So now now that changes everything. That's why and it didn't hit the rim. That's what you had to do, though.
Yeah, probably the right decision, just not good execution.
No. That was the only thing you had to do, but you had to hit that rim and hope it creamed the right way for Iowa, but that hit glass and straight out. Now Santa Cruz will inbound it with 8.7, and this game is all but done.
Yeah, the final 5 seconds tick away, and that's going to do it here at the Wells Fargo Arena. Well, it was basically decided at the free throw line here in the fourth quarter. Iowa left 7 or 8 points on the free throw line in the fourth quarter. Santa Cruz didn't. Oh, they missed one free throw. Their final free throw by Yuri Collins was missed, but that's the only one they missed all night. And they made a lot of their shots tonight too, shooting over 63% from the field. And really good offensive performance, really by both teams,
yes,
but especially by, you look at Quentin Post, Kevin Knox, the second player of the game, no doubt. He had 39. So a huge performance out of him. Yuri Collins, could all argue he was player of the game as well, with those 16 assists and 16
Post was a
points.
double-double with his rebounding. I mean, he had 27 points and 12 or 15 rebounds himself. We don't have the official numbers here yet, but
Big
quite an effort
out of Jalen Clark. He had 30 points, and solid contributions out of all the starters. Nogel Eastern, Jesse Edwards, 14 points, actually 16 points. Trevor Keels was over 20. L. Ellis had a pretty good game, 17 points, 7 assists. So a lot of good numbers, just not quite good enough. And the free throw line is kind of what decided it. Iowa misses 6 free throws in the fourth quarter, and they lose the ball game by 6 points.
And they'll be back at it here Tuesday night at the Wells Fargo Arena here in downtown Des Moines. Santa Cruz and the Iowa Wolves. The Santa Cruz now has improved to 4-0 on the year, where Iowa falls to 1-3 on this regular season portion. We do have some of the final official numbers, John.
Yeah, 39 for Kevin Knox, the second, to go along with 6 rebounds and 2 assists. 29 points, 15 rebounds for Quentin Post. He says, hey, what about me for player of the game?
Yeah.
17 points, 16 assists for Yuri Collins, a massive double-double. So all 3 of those guys really kind of, put those 3 in a hat for player of the game, but I still think Kevin Knox carrying the offensive load for most of the game.
When you go 14 of 17 from the field, and he
well, and look at Post.
Yeah.
Post 11 of 16, knocked down a couple threes.
I'll give Kevin Knox that edge on offense because he had a lot different game inside and outside, especially outside, 6 of 7 from 3.
For the Iowa Wolves, 32 points, 7 rebounds for Jalen Clark, 23 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists check that, 7 assists, 23 points for L. Ellis. Keels had 22, Jesse Edwards 18, and off the bench, Jaden Ledee, a double-digit scorer tonight with 10, also 9 out of Will Baker. But, we mentioned these 2 teams will be back at it Tuesday night, 6:30 tip. Possibly a couple roster changes for both teams. It's the G League. You never know exactly what you're going to get each night in and night out. But quality basketball game tonight. Over 5,300 people here to see it at the Wells Fargo Arena. Hopefully a similar crowd comes back on Tuesday. Don't know why they wouldn't after what they saw here tonight, but unfortunately Iowa slides to 1-3. Santa Cruz moves to 4-0 on the regular season, and that will do it here from the Well. Final score for the final time at Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, 136-130. The Santa Cruz Warriors defeat the Iowa Wolves. Have a great night, everyone.
This copyrighted broadcast of the NBA G League may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA G League.